And yes, indeed, it does seem like the previous game actually took what? 24 minutes for them to finish, and it only took us what? 14 minutes to actually watch the whole game, so yeah. The luck in this game must have been terrible, absolutely unbeatable. So looking as this game is apparently supposed to take like, well, 51 minutes? Then I guess it will end around 33 or something if we actually go and account for the luck, and there was indeed luck already because we have limes and Deli pausing and resuming the game early on, so yeah. Anyway, this is gonna be the game number 2 between the teams Nuggets going up versus the team Banani, this time on Adaptive Heavenly Place. So, let's see what are the players and what are the faction choices. So, for Chap it is gonna be Aeon. So most likely he's gonna be playing here as the air player. For Blinchik, it is gonna be Cybran, as he's on the early naval rush position, so yes, Cybran is a great choice, especially as their T1 frigates are amazing. Other than that, we're gonna have the team Captain Nugget playing on the other carry slot, and he is gonna be playing UEF in the Royal White. And last but not least, it is gonna be Deli, playing Seraphim in Lavender Violet. So he is gonna be most likely responsible for securing this position, getting a gun upgrade or nano, and then pushing inwards to go and finish off the enemy ACUs belonging to RNG. Like this, Zan Yawov playing the Seraphim ACU in green color, and then his support is gonna be Mr. Avatar playing Cybran in this lemon yellow. No way, that's... what am I saying? This is lime. This is lime color. Pardon me for that. Wrong citrus fruit. But actually it seems like there was a mistake, as these ACUs here should be using the pink colors, as they are supposed to be playing for the team Banani, which is sporting the red ones. But considering we are watching a live replay, we can unfortunately not fix this, so yes. And the game already finished long time ago, so yep. It seems like we cannot do anything about the colors being, well, used in the wrong order. As the enemy RNG AIs in the top corner here should be sporting the green colors, as they are playing for the team Nuggets here, so yep. That is a mistake, but anyway, let's see. On the air slot, we're gonna have Mr. Limes playing Seraphim here for the team Banani. Then we're gonna have the Svatosław playing Seraphim ACU. Then the team captain Banani opting for the Cybran ACU. And last but not least, going up versus the enemy RNG AIs, it is gonna be Skrat playing UEF. Their opponents in the top peninsula are gonna be Priscilla playing Aeon, and as her support, we're gonna see the other Aeon player known as Shuri. So yep, we're gonna have 2 Aeon RNGs playing for the Team Nuggets. As you might not remember this, but whenever the AI players are actually part of the player team, the team captains will get a choice to go and pick what kind of faction they're supposed to be playing. Although the colors are supposed to be set in stone. So let's see. It seems like not Blinchik. No, that's Blinchik, yes, that's Blinchik. He went for a very early T1 transport to go and secure the islands, which actually more or less are closer to the opposing team. As you can see here, he will go and steal the 150 reclaim here and also get the 2 mass points from this position, so yep. It seems like he is playing very aggressive with the early drops. Something that his opponents are not doing, as you can see. There is no transport coming out from Svatosław and no transport coming out from Banani, as it seems like the 2 ACUs belonging to the yellow team are gonna go forward here to actually go and support Skrat in dealing with the enemy RNG AI. Something that is gonna be different, as we can see here, Blinchik is actually taking his sweet time going there. Although he's also gonna join the forces of Deli and Nuggets in the bottom corner. But still, he is gonna do it slower, but I guess that is because he was using his ACU to actually go and properly secure the expansions, and also to go and grab a fast bomber here, a fast transport to secure the islands. Other than that, it seems like all the islands have been secured by their prospective players, and it seems like, surprisingly, Limes is going to support the RNG AI with a transport drop of a few engineers. Not really sure what is the idea behind this. Is he gonna go and build PDs around this position here to go and buy some time for the RNG or not? Or, never mind, he's going even more to the left side. So it's gonna be interesting to see what exactly is he planning. As I don't see any other big plays happening for now, apart from this drop in here, so... Oh my goodness, is he gonna go and build a proxy, but it seems like it's been spotted, the interceptors are already trying to go and kill it. The engines will go and actually drop down, although the transport is still gonna get shot down. The T1 PD is being built on time. Does he have the resources? He does have the resources to go and spam it. But unfortunately, here comes the Thames and a bomber from Delhi, who is really nicely paying attention as to what is happening in his neighborhood. It seems like he also managed to go and grab a gun upgrade, with the nano upgrade being the second one to be finished, already 50% done on it. So he is most likely gonna be the ACU who will be tanking the shots and dealing out the damage versus the RNG opponents. On the other hand, it seems like Priscilla, without any upgrades, is gonna go and exchange the shots versus Scrat ACU here in the top corner in the north side of the map. As we will see, she is taking a lot of damage, as Scrat actually have a good support of a bunch of Lobos here to go and deal damage to the unsuspecting ACU of the opposing team. And yep, the shells seem to be landing just fine. ACU dropping down to 2,500 HP. T1 bombers, shimmers coming to go and help out, and unfortunately, the ACU is gonna go and explode at minute 7 as Scrat takes the first kill. It seems like he also at the same time managed to go and grab himself the T2 Land HQ upgrade, as we can see him sporting the Mungus T2 Gatling bots to go and support his ACU, as it seems like the game plan for the team Banani is that instead of building the gun upgrades, they will just go and use the Mungus bots to go and outrange the enemy ACU and the T1 PDs. But also something I didn't mention is that because the RNG AIs are playing with the players, whenever the ACU dies, it seems like its base is gonna get actually given to the player in the player team with the highest income, or should I say the highest scoreline. In this game, it is gonna be the air player of the Team Nuggets, that is Chop, so yep. This is actually a small blunder, as you don't want to give this much, well, additional mass extractors and economy to your opponents. After all, we can see Chop is on 87 mass already, compared to the 40 mass for his opponent, Limes, and it seems like killing the ACU from the RNG in the top corner like that might have been a mistake, because now we will have to go and deal with this base here. We can see T1 another system already going online, PDs are also up here, but fortunately it seems like the Gatling bots, the Mungus, are here to go and deal with this, as the Route 31 point defense is unfortunately getting outranged by the enemy missile and Gatling guns. Kaboom! As the T1 PD is over. Now we can see Shuri trying to go and buy some time for the base belonging to Ja, but unfortunately, with only the double gun upgrade available, going up single ACU versus 3 opponents, it seems like this is not gonna be enough, taking a lot of damage from the enemy Gatling bots. Still, she can go and kill a few of the enemy T2 Gatling bots, but yeah, dropping to 3000 HP. Lower and lower, as it seems like the fate of this ACU have been sealed. 1400 remaining, 1k, 900, 500, and kaboom, baby! Second ACU is out in a fiery ion explosion, as the team Banani manages to go and actually kill off all of the opposing forces in the top corner. Unfortunately, it is now gonna be a race versus time, as the other base is also gonna go to the hands of Mr. Chap, who now have control over all of the economy in this game. Meanwhile, it seems like at the same time Nuggets and Delhi managed to go and kill off the Zanya Wolf ACU. As we can see, the Seraphim ACU is no more, but unlike their opponents, they did make sure they can actually kill the ACU and then ASAP remove the wall base belonging to his opponents. At the same time, it seems like Lime have hot dropped his own ACU with a T2 transport to go and build a fire base here to go and support the RNG avatar player, as he wants to make sure that this position will not fall under the control of the enemy units. We have some Notas, the T2 fighter bombers from the Seraphim race, coming here to go and support Lime, but unfortunately, he doesn't have the economy to actually go and properly build the PDs. We could see him stalling 60 mass per second when building this PD, so that was a no bueno. He also doesn't have the gun upgrade available, so that's gonna be very hard to go and push Delhi away, as Delhi have the 2 veterancy upgrades, T2 suit and also a gun upgrade, meaning his ASU is much more potent when it comes to one-on-one fights. We also have an ad fight happening, but the problem is here, even though that Limes is gonna go and win this, there is quite a few ASUs in the unit mix, meaning that the interceptors belonging to the red player are gonna take a lot of unnecessary damage. It also seems like Svatosław is finally starting to go and feel the T2 naval units, as the first destroyers, the Ushavoch, are hitting the field. And the question is gonna be, what are their targets gonna be, especially as his opponent, Mr. Blinchik, is also fielding the T2 destroyers already, as you can see, as the Salem class are, well, already sailing full steam ahead. It seems like the Avatar RNG ACU might be feeling a little bit suicidal in this position, as he is pushing very hard and deep into the territory that belongs to Delhi. He might have the gun upgrade available, but with the ACU of Delhi, I don't think like he can actually keep on pushing much further. At the same time, the ACU from Limes is gonna get once again hot dropped behind the enemy lines, as this man is doing magic at this point. He is gonna go and actually start building T2 point defenses to go and kill the base belonging to Delhi from behind. Delhi, he is actually not aware of this happening. He doesn't have the necessary radar coverage, as the radar have been built here in front, and yep, the ACU belonging to Limes is just outside its view range, just like this PD, meaning he will have a hard time reacting to what is happening here. So the surprise attack is gonna be in the hands of Limes, who can now basically go and kill the wall base from behind. And with no units responding to that threat, it seems like this damage is gonna be unavoidable. Let's see what is happening here in the naval side of the game. Or actually, what is happening in the north side, as it seems like Skrat is actually taking a lot of unnecessary damage from the AC PDs, as the Oblivion turrets and the T1 Eruptors are buying a lot of time versus the ACU belonging to the red player, as he is gonna get forced back to go and run away. Thankfully, it seems like he did indeed bring a few flapjacks with himself, as we can see, the missiles flying one after another versus the base belonging to Chap. But the problem is, the Aeon AMDs are being built one after another, and considering how good they are, it is gonna be very hard to go and break this firebase belonging to the blue player. As Aeon TMDs, they might have a small range, as we can see here, compared to other TMDs, but they're a very powerful units, with a single flare being able to redirect a 5 or maybe even more missiles. T1 drop happening here, as you can see, Luneshko trying to go and steal some reclaim, or should I say, maxes from his opponents. And oh boy, they got dropped straight into the walls, and just like that, 2 engineers exploded from getting a head concussion, and the last one got finished off by the T1 Eruptor PD. It also surprisingly seems like the Team Nuggets is gonna go for a double air player game, as we have Nuggets and both Chap going to be building T3 air units, and it seems like a very interesting play. Okay, we also have the Strat Bomber being built, one which actually forced back the ACU belonging to Limes to just go and scurry away into its own base. And let's see what is Banani doing, okay? Banani is also because... No, he's not going for the T3 HQ. He's just going for the T2 air for now. So who is the T3 air player here? Oh, I guess it's gonna be Limes, but Limes gonna have a very hard time coming back to this game. Especially as he's gonna be going versus 2 air players. And 2 air players which have clearly nicely divided the roles. Nuggets, he is gonna be playing the fast and loose game of using the Ambassador and ASF to go and kill the strategical targets. Meanwhile, Chap is gonna be using the heavy gunships, the Restorers, to go and slowly dwindle down the opposing forces. And let's see, there is the attack vector being painted by Nuggets, as it seems like their target is gonna be nothing else but the main base belonging to Limes. So gonna be interesting to see how exactly is he planning to go and deal with that. We have a bomb being dropped. What did it kill? It killed something, but not exactly sure what. Okay, it seems like it's going for the enemy naval factories as well. Okay, interceptors from Svatosław trying to go and catch the Strat Bomber. Unfortunately, they are too slow to catch it and deal proper damage, especially as there is a proper patrol force here of 7 ASF units to go and make sure that the Ambassador is not gonna lose its life. Bombs being dropped versus the T2 Maxes belonging to Limes, as his ace is getting hot dropped again, and oh my goodness! Drop down, get down, Mr. President! Oh, that was so close. As Limes just by managing by... Like, this was literally a 10th of a second, and he would be dead. So yeah, that was a very, very important ACU save, but at the same time, he is losing a lot of economy, as the T2 Maxes here on this expansion island are no more. And let's see what is the bomber gonna go after now. Bombs have been dropped, as they are going after the T2 power generators belonging to the opposing team. The Strat Bomber have been shut down, as a bunch of enemy ASF and a lot of interceptors from Limes are gonna go and seal the deal here. And now the Restorers are gonna be the next target. ASF come from Chap to go and save the day. As while the Restorers attacking the damage, the ASF are gonna deal a lot of damage to the opposing air force. As we can see, the red triangles are disappearing from the sky one after another. Thankfully, Svatosław is gonna go and push in with a few cruisers to go and, well, help his air players save the day, while at the same time, it seems like Delhi is about to go and secure the wall South Peninsula, as there is only a single more ACU remaining, and that is going to be the only problem. At the same time, we have a big naval fight happening between the forces belonging to Svatosław and Blinchik, as the two players are duking it out. But unfortunately for Svatosław, his air player have been, well, pushed out from the skies, and as such, we can see the torpedo bombers belonging to Nuggets, the Storks, basically dropping bombs one after another with only a few cruisers available. Cruisers which are about to go and also get shot down here, as we can see, as the torpedo bombers are reaching out for the targets. Never mind, it seems like there is enough anti-air units available right now. So the torpedo bombers will have to go and fall back for now. The ACU from Avatar, the last RNG player, have been also just killed here, as we can see, as Delhi finally took out the trash. And as such, he can go and enjoy this whole South Peninsula for himself. At the same time, it seems like he's gonna go and keep on building the Yenzins, the T2 hover tanks, to go and be a pain in the arse of his opponent. That opponent being Limes, who have unfortunately mismanaged his cruiser, which is about to go and most likely die versus the enemy T2 hover tanks. Another scuffle happening here on the mid lane, as we can see the forces belonging to Svatosław pushing in harder and harder. At the same time, it seems like the torpedo bombers cleared out the north part of the map, as somehow Chop is still defending this position, as this firebait is proving too hard to get killed by the forces of Scrat and Svato, who now both have acquired a gun and nano upgrades, although this is not a nano, this is just a TML and T2 suit available for him. So unfortunately I have no clue what kind of targets he TML'd, as I was paying attention to what is happening at the bottom. But it seems like this position will most likely be gone in a few more minutes, as the ACUs from Scrat and Svatosov are gonna be proving to be too much to go and defend versus. Especially when supported by the parashields and the pillar tanks. Although the pillars are taking a lot of unnecessary damage, and with all of this build power available for the blue player, it seems like the Oblivion turrets are most likely gonna go and fend off the opposing ACUs for a while longer. As we can see, Scrat ACU dropping down to half HP, the nano repair just being not enough to go and save his ACU from taking all of those shots. So let's go back and see now what is happening here, as there is a big army of torpedo bombers available for Team Nuggets. There is already 20 of them. Let's see how many ASF, 13 ASF for Nuggets and also a few more for Chop. As we can see, all of the cruisers are gonna get shot down. Nope, they are not gonna get shot down, as the target acquisition for Nuggets was unfortunately not the best. Which is most likely because there is a mermaid available in the unit mix, making it so. Unless there is a steady stream of T1 scouts flying over the enemy ships, you will never know exactly what kind of units are available there. After all, the Cybran stealth is not so easy to deal with. Coming back to the mid lane, it seems like the forces from Svato and Blinchy are more or less in a stalemate, as not a single one of them is willing to go and fall back for now. As let's see, yep, there is nearly 7,000 reclaim on our screen, so nobody wants to go and leave this position here, as that would mean conceding a lot of resources to your opponents. Okay, that's a very nasty cruiser here from Limes, already nearly 3,500 must killed on it. Thankfully, here comes the Yenzin patrol to go and deal with it, as the Seraphim cruisers don't have any anti-ground or anti-naval weapons available, so yes. Although there is a few frigates available, so we will see if the cruiser is gonna get saved or not. I say no, as there is just way too many Yenzins available. The cruiser is gonna go and fall down after getting quite good value by itself. The frigates are gonna be the next target, as it seems like Mr. Chop is still not giving up the top side, as Fatosov is coming under the fire from enemy restorers and broadsword. 100 HP, 1000 HP, kaboom, baby, he is no more, as the air snipe from Nuggets have come in clutch. Next target on the menu is gonna be no one else but Scrat. He does have a few flags available and few D1 anti-air railgun turrets, but is this gonna be enough to go and deal with this big swatch of T3 heavy gunships or not? It seems like there is a few flags available, but unfortunately the DPS is just too powerful. One shield dropping after another, Scrat only half HP remaining. 9,000 to be exact, but no, there is a bad micro here from the gunships, as all of them are dying versus the enemy flak units, as the area of damage is just too powerful. Although the air snipe might still work out. 2,000 HP remaining, 1,800, 1,500, 1,000 HP. Is he gonna die? With a few more gunships coming in here, they will seal the deal, as Scrat is the second real player to go and bite the dust. And now, with even more restorers available for Chop and Nuggets, it seems like they can start to go and clean up this North Peninsula here, as the team Banani doesn't really have much to go up versus these forces. And now with Chop also starting to go and make some T1 land factories, it seems like the land warfare, a land incursion, is on the menu for the Team Nuggets. At the same time, Banani is trying to go and salvage the game by pushing in forward with his own naval units in the top pond. But unfortunately, he is still taking massive losses versus his opponent. On the south side, it seems like the fleet belonging to Delhi, to Blinchik. It's actually both players, as Delhi is also bringing in a few units from himself. But yeah, this fleet also seems to be making quite a good progress versus the units belonging to Limes. As even though he does indeed have a way bigger army available, he is having some trouble, well, properly microing the units versus the Cyber Navy, which is, well, just jumping in and out of the enemy range here. Yep, we can see there is nothing in the circle. Magic? No, it's not magic. That's just the Cyber mermaids doing their job by providing the stealth to the all ships around them. As we can see, the green... No, sorry, the green is the torpedo defense. I think this bleak orange one is the stealth range, but yeah, anyway, Cybran really hard to go and deal versus in the naval fights unless you can provide yourself some steady stream of T1 units to go and fly over them. Banani also opting to go and fall back, as he is aware that his fleet doesn't have enough cruisers available to go deeper into the territory of his opponents. Especially, as we can see, a big number of restorers are available here on the north sky, as Chap have been donated also all of the ASF from Nuggets, meaning he is now responsible for cleaning out the top part of the map, as the once RNG bases, now belonging to Banani, are gonna go and fall down one after another. Shield is down, although I don't think they have to go and run away from a single Burst Master, as a single flag is gonna be nowhere enough to go and deal with this bunch of units. Although, those cruisers might be just enough, as it seems like Banani is recognizing the fact that he will need to go and, well, station a few ships here to go and dissuade any kinds of attacks from the opposing forces, as Team Nuggets is looking quite good in this position. Now, all of the forces have been actually given to Blinchik, and it seems like he's gonna go and launch a pincer maneuver attack versus the navy belonging to Lunishko. Lunishkov, who is actually getting strung quite thin, as he have to go and watch out what is happening on the top side, where there's a land incursion happening from Chap. As we can see, a bunch of Fairforce and other T1 units just going in versus the enemy bases. Also, a bunch of the Broadswords are gonna go and try to make their way around the enemy flag forces and the cruisers outside the range to go after the T3 HQ and the T2 Maxes, or even T3 Maxes belonging to Banani here. He is starting to go and produce some T2 flag to go and defend himself, but the question is he gonna be ready on time? The ASF force is coming in droves, as we can see both the yellow and red triangles coming in here, homing onto the targets of the enemy Broadswords. Let's see the numbers. Lunishko, he does have 51 available. His friend have 50, so yeah, basically 100 ASF available for the Team Banani. 42 ASF available, no, 42 and 32, so like 75 ASF for Chap, but also 30 Restorers, so yep, they are not winning this airfight anytime soon. And like I said, the pincer maneuver have been deployed. As all the frigates are joining the fight, the destroyers are raining shells from afar, and the Neptune-class battlecruiser is also joining the fray, opening its beam weaponry versus the opposing Galaxy-class battleship, fielded by his opponent. As we can see, the Galaxy class is gonna go and fall down and sink down to the bottom of the sea, as the mighty ship is no more, as it have been overrun by the forces belonging to Blinchik, who is not stopping. His eyes are set on the prize, another battleship. He is gonna go and get under the fire from the enemy ships, as the Salems and the Trident class frigates are proving to be just too much. The T3 units are coming under heavy fire, as we can see this Galaxy class already dropping to half HP, as the sky is all but bloated with the missiles and shells belonging to the units of Mr. Blinchik, who is not stopping. He is going close combat here. His destroyers are so close they can start opening fire with their own torpedo launchers, as another Galaxy-class battleship is about to go and bite the dust. Only 4000 HP remaining, but it seems like Blinchik is actually running out of steam, as there is also a big army from both Blin and Delhi pushing towards the bottom part of the map, as the ASF and restorers are actually trying to go and find a way across the map into position where the enemy ASF will be unable to react on time. But yes, okay, this is a big mistake, as Lunishko is really unable to properly micro his units. Once again his battleships are getting close to the range of the enemy frigates, meaning that Blinchik once again will get a very good, well, damage done here onto the enemy ace ships, as the Galaxy class is just falling one after another. This is the third battleship out of the game, and it seems like Blinchik is just not gonna go and stop. And the big problem is, you see the units popping in and out of the fog of war, as the Cybrand stealth technology is really proving very hard to go and deal with. And what's even more problematic is that there is a big amount of T1 units being pouring in one after another from the top side, so yes. Oh my goodness, there is an airfight happening. It seems like all of the ASF belonging to Chap have been shot down. Only the clump of restorers available in here. But it seems like they're doing just fine for now, especially as we can see the Navy from Delhi is joining the fray, the cruisers coming here to go and save the day, as the whole sky is just being bloated out by smoke and other stuff, as the missiles, the flags and everything is exploding, as the red units are out of the sky. One by down, they have fallen down. And now, even though there is a torpedoes coming to go and save the day, unfortunately, they are not gonna be enough. More ASF coming from Banani, also known as Lunishko, to go and try to catch the enemy restorers, but unfortunately, like I said, he just doesn't have the APM to go and properly micro the units. As such, they're gonna go and idle once again above the enemy cruisers, dying for no gain at all. As we can see, that Blinchik is still doing quite well on the top pond. His units, finally, we can see the Summit class battleships joining the fight, as they're gonna open their salvos versus the enemy Galaxy class battleships in the background, as we can see them. Soon enough, a big salvo gonna be fired. Kablum! As the shells are flying in the air to go and hit the opposing units. And they actually went versus the frigates. Unlucky. But yeah, the position of the Team Banani is looking worse and worse, so it seems like the Team Nuggets is actually not gonna get, well, pushed down to the losers bracket, at least not yet, as the scoreline is most likely gonna end up being 1-1. Destroyers from Delhi finally here to go and pay the piper for the limes. As we can see, the destroyers actually being in range of the enemy T2, T3 power gens, and kaboom! A massive chain reaction is gonna go and destroy the wall Ervid belonging to limes. Now his ACU being the next target here. As we can see, his ACU just died to the enemy broadswords, as Nuggets is now here to go and clean up the remnants of the base of Limes, who is now dead. Banani being the last man alive and last man standing, he's gonna have a very hard time getting this game rolling back to his own, as it seems like the onslaught from Team Nuggets is just gonna be unstoppable. He might be able to go and use the Titans to go and clean up the North Plateau here, but at the same time, can he actually go and prove that he can go and stabilize this naval position, as he will go and torp all with his bombers to go and put a single Neptune? That's a big mistake. He could actually go and take out two ships at the same time, But the APM is just lacking. The ASF are gonna come and clean up the torpedo bombers from Lunishko. As now, we're gonna have the wrestlers from Mr. Chap just go in. Straight into the main base belonging to Lunishko, most likely killing the remaining airbeat of the team Banani and then going after all of the economy here. As there is just nothing to go and stop them, we can see this airbeat is no more. It have been cleared out in no time. Now the wrestlers are just flying one after another as the game is gonna go, and the replay just paused for a second, but we are back still here. And yes, it seems like the Mexes are getting killed one after another. Pigeon gonna go and fall down as Banani is being pushed against the wall, as he will just Control K and go for the next game as Team Nuggets takes the win. GG, well played, and let's go for the game number 3 in this winner's bracket.